So I went to the orthodontist for the first time yesterday with my daughter, and I'm starting a GoFundMe page. I think. Have you dealt with braces yet? Because I had no idea that they were, and this is just phase one. Phase one is like, oh, your kid's teeth aren't growing in properly. Here's $5,000. And have you dealt with that?
We don't have to, thankfully.
Your kids have straight teeth?
Well, my oldest one has a little bit of bunching down here, but our doctor's like, just let him grow. He's gonna grow. His jaw's gonna grow. Everything's gonna grow. Just let it grow, because it's not bad.
One of my oldest, they were like, she's fine. They're all going to come in. The other one, it's like, it's like a concert for the Who, and it's general admission, and everyone's everyone's trying to get into her mouth at once. And if you saw the X-ray, they do this crazy matrix X-ray around the head, and I was like, oh. Like the one kid, everything's kind of coming in, but the other child, the second one, where my wife says, that was the one that almost killed her because she had the kids so close together that the second one took everything out of her bones. So she's missing a tooth. She's missing two adult teeth, and the rest in the front are just like sprinting for the exit to get out.
Listen, do you know I have a theory, and I don't think I'm the only one. I feel like I read an article where if you have a lot of kids, let's say you have 4, 5, 6 kids, okay? The first one gets all the just all the stuff from the mom, good and bad, right? Because the mom like will detox. The second one, a little less of the good stuff. By the fifth kid, it's like one of the eyes droops, maybe 4 fingers. Do you know what I mean? Like they just keep getting worse because there's only so much a human body can give.
Yeah.
So there is something to your wife's theory.
It's like when you're making cookies and there's just like a little bit of batter left, and that
Right.
last cookie, you're scraping it,
Haven't
and
been
you're
like
like, is
fully
this
formed. Yeah.
it's so small that it's gonna cook way faster than the other ones, and so all of a sudden you come out with this great batch of cookies, and the last one's like this burned little thing.
Yeah.
You're like, you
Yeah.
throw it to the dog. Yeah. So that's,
Yeah.
by the way, I'm the last of 6 kids, so I
That
hope your
tracks.
theory that
That
track
tracks.
the tracks. So
That,
that proves the theory
right.
of, okay,
Yeah.
yeah, that feels about right.
Yeah.
But I don't know how people like, you know, if everyone has the exact same straight teeth, where's the character? Like Lauren Hutton had a
Yeah.
space in her teeth. She was a big model
Yeah.
in the 70s. Gorgeous. Why isn't uniqueness a beautiful trait? Why are we making everyone look the same in fashion?
Which is a contradiction to what's really going on, right, in the world, which is, you're great the way you are, right? Like we're supposed to accept everybody now. Like, well, I identify as a laundry hamper, and then that's who you are, right? Why can't
Sure.
your younger daughter identify as a brontosaurus, right? Like with sharp, tangly, I don't know what kind of teeth a brontosaurus had, but like something aggressive. Why can't
She,
that be?
she's like the alien monster where the jaw comes screaming out and they go,
Yes. Why can't they need to give concessions to those types of kids?
yeah.
You should
Um,
start transitioning her into that alien.
well, wait, listen, it's happening. We're $5,000 deep. And here's the other thing. I love orthodontists because it used to be like, all right, we'll bill you later. Have you been to a doctor lately? They're like cash up front. Have you seen this?
No, we haven't gone to an orthodontist.
But any doctor, like any doctor I go to, they're like, here's the bill. Or even the dentist. My kids at the dentist, they go, here's the bill. And you pay it right then and there.
Our dentist stopped taking insurance. So when I go to the dentist now, here's what I do. I have to put it on like 6 different credit cards so my husband doesn't know how much it costs, because we go to a fancy schmancy, hoity-toity LA dentist who there's like a rainfall in her
Sure.
practice. She has like butterflies, like real
Mhm.
ones that they've captured and put in a thing. Like it's so beautiful and
Mhm.
gorgeous. It's like a Vegas casino, you know what I mean? Where like you come in and there's like a reception area where you check in and everything's beautiful and zen. There's waterfalls everywhere. and it's expensive, and they don't take
Of course it is.
insurance. Yeah, so I have to like
Yeah.
hide it. Yeah,
I like places. There's like a Tibetan monk in the corner, and he's got the
yeah,
bowl where he's rubbing the
yeah.
rim, like, oh,
Yeah,
that's
it's
pretty tasty.
expensive. It's
Worth every
expensive.
penny. Worth every penny.
It is. So I guess
Yeah, it's
I'm
crazy.
paying that and not the orthodontist.
I love that dentistry isn't really covered. They told me that some of this will be covered under insurance, but then I've talked to other people and they say there's no insurance
No,
for
no.
braces or anything.
No,
And
no. Here's what dental insurance covers. They might validate your parking.
they did not actually.
That's
I
it.
was meter. I had meter parking. I had
Yeah,
meter parking.
and then maybe you get like a floss. Like
Yeah.
they don't even cover cleanings anymore.
Well, here's how I'm going to do her braces. This is how I'm going to afford it. Next time we go to the doctor's office, I'm going to make sure she slips in the waiting room and falls and really hurts her back.
Yeah,
And then the lawsuit the back will pay for the
that's
braces.
genius. I think we should
It-
teach kids more of that.
Absolutely. I mean, everyone's litigious nowadays, but it used to be back in the day. You'd go to the grocery store, you'd have to put a puddle down in the frozen food section, slip, fall, break your elbow, and then you might get a couple grand. But that's how I get through college.
Put a puddle down. I just sneeze and I've put a puddle down.
And it's
Sorry.
horrifying. Yeah, it's got disgusting. Here's the other thing. When you pay, they were like, they go, if you pay on credit card, we'll charge you this. And if you pay with check or cash, we'll take 6% off. So I left my kids at the orthodontist, drove home to get a check, then had to make sure the money got in to cover this enormous check because 6% of the 5 grand, you do the math, it
It's
was
a
some
lot.
money. Yeah,
Yeah.
and so I was like, all right, whatever. So I drove home. I just left my kids there for like an hour
Why didn't you just bring your kids with you?
to go home.
Yeah.
Oh, she was still doing. They were doing.
Oh, they were
She's
doing
getting an
stuff.
expander.
Okay.
She's
Okay.
getting an expander. So my little Claire she has a heart shaped face. So her jaw's a little. So they're going to expand.
Yeah.
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 Oh, here's the other thing. They put the expander on the two back teeth, and it's got a little thing in the middle. And then each day for a month, she told me, I'm going to have to put a little Allen wrench into my child's mouth, stick it through the expander, and turn it a quarter of a turn every day for a month to slowly. It's like the rack in like Marquis de Sade era, where the guy was on the rack and they were like, "Let me just see if I can stretch this dude out a couple inches." I'm doing that with my child's mouth once the expander gets in. They had to measure her and take a little mold so that they can put the expander in. They're basically saying, "Your head's too small for your teeth. We're going to stretch it out."
And with the same tool you use for IKEA furniture.
Yeah. Well, the expander, they called it the Schmluffluff, which is that's the name of the expander, is the
But I mean,
Schlumenfloof.
how advanced? You're paying a lot of money for just the same way that you put together a Florkin.
A Florkin, which we still have our Florkin in
Yeah,
this
those
living room.
last.
That's fantastic. You just take the covers off and wash them. I love my wife still, not to change subjects, but she still like tries to buy nice things all the time. And I go, what, why are you doing this? IKEA is built for children to destroy. And, but
Listen,
she doesn't.
I am torn right now. We need a new couch for the kids. They have a loft area that's just their area. Okay.
Mhm.
It's the loft, it's where they play and they hang out and friends come over. One of these a-holes, I don't know which one because they each blame the other one. It's the younger one, I know. Put something black and sticky.
Mhm.
Now, maybe it didn't start off black, but now it's black. It's maybe mold. I don't know what's happening. Something is growing between two of the cushions of our couch. And I am so furious that they will not tell me. And I have begged, I have bribed. I was like, just tell me who it is. I'm not going to be mad. Just tell me. And they're both like, wasn't me, wasn't me. One of you is lying.
But you always, with my kids, I know which one is lying. The older one, every time. The other one's honest to a fault, like me, where she just tells the truth.
See, both of mine are liars.
Good. Yeah.
Yeah. And both have a tendency for criminal behavior
Sure.
and for scam artists. I don't know what to do. And I want to buy a new couch, but there's no way I'm going to spend 4 grand, which is how
Yeah.
much a couch costs,
Or one visit to the orthodontist, we'll call it, for
or an
4 grand,
expander. Yeah,
or an
or an
expander. Sure.
expander.
That
That's crazy money. That's crazy money.
it's
And you know
crazy
what?
money.
Honestly, we would get more use out of the couch than that goddamn expander. Expander?
Way more. Expander.
Expensive?
Expander.
Expander.
Expander. They also told me when they expand it, it's going to probably separate her 2 front teeth, and then later in phase 2, we'll take care of that problem.
This is nuts. This is nuts. This orthodontist has a kid going to college soon. You need to go do some background checks. I guarantee you this orthodontist has a kid going to Pepperdine in the fall. This is ridiculous.
Orthodontists do well.
They
They
make
do
so much
really.
money.
I didn't have braces. I never had braces as a kid.
I did not have braces. No.
I mean, mine aren't perfectly straight. I probably could have used it, but I'm sure my father was like, "Yeah, we don't have money for that."
No way. What are you talking about? My
You
parents
s-
barely wanted to take me to the hospital when I fractured my wrist. They didn't take me until the next day, until it ballooned. It was this big.
like,
And they were like, fine. And I told them the day before, I'm like, it's probably broken. I was 9 years old. I was screaming in pain. And they were like, walk it off, sleep it off. The next day, it was so big. We went to the hospital and the doctor said, when did this happen? And at the same time, I said yesterday, and my dad said this morning.
that's hilarious.
Because
Where
they
I
didn't
mean,
want to take me.
nowadays it's so opposite, where it's like the kid just bangs her arm on a corner and they go, "Well, let's go to the doctor."
Yeah. Yeah.
Doctors too now, you can't even get a doctor's appointment. Like, it's really hard to get a doctor. If your kid's sick, you'll call and they'll go like, "Yeah, we have something next week," and you're like, "Yeah, my kid's sick today. I need to."
Right.
And they're
Yeah.
like, "We'll go to the emergency room." You're like, "I'm not going to the emergency room for this."
Do you go to
Uh, so
urgent care?
my wife has found there's all these urgent cares that are not in network, and
No.
she loves those places. And they have the rainforest,
Yeah. Yeah.
and
They're bougie. They're bougie.
yeah, they're bougie, but they are, if you're filthy, like I love when people are like, "Oh, everyone's the same." Everyone's not the same. Like if you're, and like when people say money doesn't cause money definitely buys happiness.
100%.
What
Money
up?
buys everything.
Everything. And if you're not
Everything.
happy with money, give it away because you're an idiot. Like if
Right.
like when I'm not worried about like bills going out and I just sign bills away, which I used to be before I had kids, and now I'm juggling. But before kids, I had a bank full of money, and I just go, yeah, whatever, just write checks or whatever, and I was happy. God, I was happy. I was
Yeah.
so. Money buys happiness. I love, and here the rich people are telling you they have drama in their life, so you don't feel so bad about being poor. That's really, it's all a conspiracy.
They do have drama in their life, but I feel like the people that I know that are filthy, filthy rich, they create it. They create it because life is so easy that they're like, you know what? Let me stir up something. Let me stir up a problem. They
It's like
create
Downton
it.
Abbey. Downton Abbey, the rich
Yeah.
people are. She's like, oh my god, I wasn't invited to the cotillion.
Yeah,
Fireworks
exactly.
instead of going, oh, what do I
Or
care?
whatever.
And then the poor people downstairs are like, they got their own drama, which sometimes seems less drama than the rich people upstairs. And you're like, dude, you're a mess.
Well, I will say this just really quickly, going back to doctors. The best doctor to be, this is the best, is be an allergist because they never have to have any answers. They never have to know why. You could form an allergy in your 30s. Why? I don't know. A baby is born with allergies. What happened? Why? I ate peanuts when I was pregnant. Why does my kid have a peanut allergy? We don't know. They come and go. Allergies can pop up out of nowhere. Does not matter. And they never have to tell you an answer. They can't. That's the best.
I
Because
know.
people come in, they got to pay you for the tests and they got to do the this. You don't have to
Mhm.
put your fingers in anyone's holes. You know what I mean? It's a
Yeah.
great doctor.
Yeah.
You give them a Benadryl. Yeah, someone might, you know, die in your
Sure.
because you tested something. Okay, there's that chance, but that could happen anywhere. And then you send them off, and you still make money, but you don't have to have any answers.
I couldn't agree more. My daughter Claire is starting with the allergies. We just gave her some
Yeah,
Zyrtec this morning, actually.
for what?
I
Like
did.
environmental?
Yeah, we don't know. We're gonna have to take her, but she's been like sneezing and stuffy for like months, and so we took her and we said she. I was kind of scared. She had this crazy cough, and they were the ones like, no, she has allergies. I was like, great. So I had allergies not till my 30s. No allergies my whole life. Mid 30s, I was like this. I couldn't even talk. And my girlfriend at the time set up an appointment. I went to an allergist, and the dude pricked my back 60
Yeah,
times
yeah,
with every horsehair
yeah.
and
Right,
dander
exactly.
and I blew up. Like, ugh. And I was like, and that was the night I was meeting my girlfriend's mother, and we were going to dinner. And so I had 60 prick marks on my back, and half of them had just swollen up. And then they make a cocktail for you that they then start injecting you. And over 2 months, you'll start to get better. But that day, they give me Benadryl or whatever to kind of bring my body back down. But I go to dinner down on Main Street in Santa Monica with my girlfriend's mother, and I fell asleep at dinner.
Oh my
The first time I met her, how are you doing? I was such a mess. She must have thought I was a drug addict. I was like, I had an allergy test today, and I'm not right. And
I'm
then I was like,
allergic to meth, and he just passed out. Oh my god,
I forgot that story. But yeah, and
that's
he told
hilarious.
me this guy's awesome. We're gonna end up bringing my daughter Claire to him here in Studio City, and he told me when I was doing tests, we kind of became super friendly. He was a super good guy, and I did shots for a few years, and then they kind of faded away again. Where the doctor's like, "Yep, that just happens." He told me that within the next 40 years, most of the population will have allergies because of the atmosphere and the pollutants and the damage we've done to everything. Yeah.
Oh man, he's
So
probably
you're right.
and he said
Allergies
that
the
with
way
a
to go.
slight smile.
Yeah, and
They're
also
excited
I just
about
think
it.
you're right. I think you're right. It's like the easiest thing to go is like, no, and they always were like, there's no quick cure. We're gonna
No,
give you a shot. It's gonna take 3 or 4 months, but here's
right.
your bill. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
they
And
don't
then
have to cure you.
once you start getting shots, you don't even see that doctor. You walk in and a nurse, like they have a little checklist, and then I walked
Mhm,
in, they'd shoot me in the arm, I'd be out in like 15 seconds and go,
exactly.
yeah, that dude was the king. He's a good, yeah.
Yeah,
I'm going back to school to become an allergist.
it's not too late. What if we name this podcast "We Both Have a Claire"?
Thought about that too. That's not a bad one.
Just
Clarely speaking.
Yeah, yeah, we both have a Claire. No, I don't know. We'll figure it out.